Someone making $60,000 a year is becoming wealthier than someone making $200,000. Same country, same economy, wildly different outcomes. Think about your own life. Every paycheck comes in, and somehow it just disappears. Rent, food, a few subscriptions you forgot you had, a dinner out because you deserved it. By the time next payday rolls around, you're right back where you started. That's not bad luck. That's a system working exactly as designed, just not for you. Here's the twist. The fix isn't a side hustle. It's not a stock tip. It's a handful of simple, almost boring rules nobody sat you down and explained. And once you see them, you can't unsee them. To show you how this actually plays out, I want you to meet two people. Adam and Sarah. Same age, same starting salary, same city. By the end of this video, their lives will look nothing alike. And the reason why is the entire point of this video. School taught you the quadratic formula. It didn't teach you why two people with identical paychecks can retire decades apart. So people learn this stuff the hard way, usually in their 30s, usually after a few expensive mistakes. Let's make sure that's not you. Rule 1. Your salary doesn't matter nearly as much as your savings rate. Adam gets a raise and thinks, I earn more now, I'm doing great. Sarah gets the same raise and keeps her spending exactly where it was. A doctor making $300,000 a year who saves 5% will lose, financially, to a teacher making $50,000 who saves 20%. It's not close. Income is what you make. Wealth is what you keep. Quick question. If you got a 10% raise tomorrow, be honest, where would that money actually go? Sit with that for a second, because your answer just told you which one of these two people you currently are. Rule 2. Debt isn't good or evil. It's neutral. Think of debt like fire. Controlled, it cooks your food and heats your home. Uncontrolled, it burns the whole house down. A mortgage at 4% while your investments grow at 8%. That fire is working for you. A credit card at 25%. That fire is working against you, and it doesn't care that you didn't notice. Here's a stat that stops people cold. The average American carries over $6,000 in credit card debt at north of 20% interest. That's not a bill, that's a leak in the boat, and most people don't even know it's there. Rule 3. Lifestyle creep is the silent killer of wealth. Picture a bucket with a few small holes in the bottom. Every time you earn more, you pour more water in. New car, nicer apartment, better phone. But the holes are still there. The water level never actually rises. That's Adam's entire 20s. Every race, a new hole appears in the bucket, and he never notices the water isn't going up. Now here's where most people get it completely backwards, and it's costing them everything. You've probably heard renting is throwing money away, and buying a house is always the smart move. That's a myth. A house isn't an investment the way people think. It costs you money every month, maintenance, taxes, interest, long before it ever pays you back. Sometimes renting and investing, the difference builds more wealth than buying does. The rule isn't buy or rent. The rule is run your actual numbers, because the popular advice was never built for your specific life. At this point, you might think this is just about spreadsheets and math. It's not. The biggest financial battles don't happen in your bank account. They happen in your head. But before we get there, 3 more rules, and these ones cut deeper than the last 3. Rule 4. Net worth is the real scoreboard, not income. Adam drives a car that screams success. Sarah drives something forgettable. If you looked at their lives from the outside, you'd bet on Adam every time. But net worth is invisible. It's not the car in the driveway. It's the number nobody sees, quietly growing in an account Adam has never even opened. Rule 5. Compound interest cuts both ways. It's the same force building your retirement account and destroying you on credit card debt. Think of it like planting a tree. The first few years, almost nothing happens. It barely looks different. Then one day, seemingly out of nowhere, it's tall enough to shade the whole yard. Compound interest is slow, boring, and unglamorous for years. That's exactly why most people give up right before it gets good. Rule 6. Cash flow beats cash. $10,000 sitting in a checking account feels safe, but picture an ice cube sitting on the counter. It looks the same for a while. Then, it quietly shrinks and shrinks until one day it's just a puddle. That's inflation, eating roughly 7% of your cash's value every single year, whether you're watching or not. So why does Adam, who isn't stupid, keep making the choices that shrink his future? Because your brain doesn't actually want wealth. It wants safety, right now, today. When a bonus hits your account, your brain doesn't whisper, "Invest this." It whispers, "Reward yourself, you survived." That's not weakness. That's hardwiring left over from a time when tomorrow wasn't guaranteed. And every ad, every store layout, every limited time offer is engineered to hijack that exact instinct. There's a concept called Hedonic Adaptation, and it explains almost everything about Adam. He buys something new, feels amazing for about 2 weeks, and then it quietly becomes his new normal. The bigger apartment stops feeling big. The nicer car is just a car again. So he chases the next upgrade forever on a treadmill that never actually arrives anywhere. Sarah isn't smarter than Adam. She just learned to notice the treadmill and stepped off it. Here's where Adam and Sarah's story actually splits open. At 25, Sarah starts investing $200 a month. Adam says he'll start when he's making more. He finally starts at 35. And to catch up, he invests double, $400 a month. By 65, at a normal 8% return, Sarah has roughly $700,000. Adam, despite putting in more total money, ends up with less than $500,000. 10 years. That's the entire gap. Not intelligence, not income. Just time and the willingness to start before it felt comfortable. Rule 7. The market doesn't reward the smartest people. It rewards the most patient ones. Rule 8. Build an emergency fund before you build anything else. 3 to 6 months of expenses, sitting boring and completely untouched. That fund is the difference between a bad month and a financial disaster. Sarah has one. Adam doesn't. Guess who survives the surprise medical bill without touching a credit card? Rule 9. Insurance and estate basics aren't really about you. They're about the people who'd be left picking up the pieces if something happened to you. It's the least exciting rule on this list, and it's also the one people regret ignoring the most at the worst possible moment. Rule 10. Maybe the most important one. Money doesn't buy happiness, but it buys options. It buys the ability to leave a job that's draining you, to take care of family without panic, to actually sleep at night. Here's a number that surprises most people. The majority of self-made millionaires in America never had a 6-figure salary. They just followed rules like these, quietly, for 20 or 30 years, while everyone assumed they were unremarkable. Sarah was never the smartest person in the room. She was never the highest earner in her friend group. She just made boring, repeatable decisions over and over, while Adam waited for a better moment that never came. Here's what's uncomfortable about all of this. None of these 10 rules are complicated. You could explain every single one to a 12-year-old in under a minute. The system was never hiding complex secrets from you. It was betting you'd never sit still long enough to hear them. So the real question isn't whether you understood this video. It's whether you'll remember it in 6 months, the next time a bonus lands in your account, or a limited time deal shows up in your inbox. The moment where you get to choose whether you're Adam or Sarah. Because here's the truth, nobody puts on a billboard. Every dollar you spend is casting a vote for the future you'll eventually live in. Adam voted for right now. Sarah voted for later. You vote next.